Your faith and obedience to the Lord is not only going to serve you well, but everything attached to you eats off your sacrifice to the Lord. This is not about you, but it's about the people after you. In Genesis 12, 1 through 4, it says, The Lord had said to Abram, Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you. So Abram departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. I want to say this. Abraham traveled on the Lord's command and went from place to place. Many people will not understand what the Lord is doing in you and through you. And things may not look like you expect, but it's bigger than you, so stay the course. In Hebrews 11, 9 through 10, it says, And even when he reached the land, Abraham, that is, God promised him, he lived there by faith, for he was like a foreigner living in tents. And so did Isaac and Jacob, who inherited the same promise. Abraham was confidently looking forward to a city with eternal foundations, a city designed and built by God. In the book of Joshua, we see where the Israelites finally takes possession of the land that God had promised to Abraham. His word to Abraham was this, And I will give the entire land of Canaan, where you now live as a foreigner, to you and your descendants. It will be their possession forever, and I will be their God. That is found in Genesis 17:8. Then the word of the Lord to Abraham's descendants was this, I gave you land you had not worked on, and I gave you towns you did not build. The towns where you are now living, I gave you vineyards and olive groves for food, though you did not plant them, which is found in Joshua 24 and 13. Now, I know I said I was going to share my journey and not to compare, but just like Abraham, I have made a covenant with the Lord, and I've been traveling from place to place. People who count themselves as followers of Christ cannot grasp what the Lord is doing in my life. To them, it's not normal for me to be in the situations I am in currently. But let me boast in my infirmities for a moment. And I'm going to do this in part, starting with the last season, because this story is long. In May, the Lord said he was going to test my faith, which I couldn't fathom what else he was going to do, as I had already lost a home and went to live with my mama. He sent me into the wilderness. Physically, it was the state of Texas. And there I lived in a hotel for a few months before finally getting an apartment of my own, on my own. He didn't say that Texas was going to be a permanent home for me. I just took it upon myself to try and make it that. Then I heard him say, You're going back to Georgia for good. And I'm like, okay, maybe in a few years. But nope, I was forced out because I tend to get laxed and comfortable, and he have to drive me out of places. So here I am again in a hotel in Texas for 2 weeks. Then on yesterday, I moved back to Georgia, as I said. Currently, I am considered homeless as I live in a hotel. But needless to say, I have not lacked nothing. See, in the physical, it seems as if I'm unstable, but in reality, my faith is being built and made secured on the word of the Lord. As Jesus said in the wilderness to Satan, man shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. In Deuteronomy, Moses says this to the children of Israel. He says, Remember how the Lord your God led you through the wilderness for these 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character and to find out whether or not you would obey his commands. Yes, he humbled you by letting you go hungry and then feeding you with manna, a food previously unknown to you and your ancestors. He did it to teach you that people do not live by bread alone. Rather, we live by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. For all these 40 years, your clothes didn't wear out and your feet didn't blister or swell. Think about it. Just as parents discipline a child, the Lord your God disciplines you for your own good. So, stay the course and continue to keep what he commands you because it's not going to make sense to everybody else. I'm pretty sure that when Moses, Abraham, Mary, and everybody received their promises from the Lord in their days, the people looking in probably thought that they were crazy. They probably thought that they didn't hear from the Lord. They probably thought that they were confused. Now we know the outcome because we read it, but they had to walk it. And just as they are walking it, I am walking it, and you get to see it in real time.